Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back again with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Switch, November the 6th until the 10th. Let's jump in and see what we've got. Air Twister is releasing this week at retail, and this is an on-rail shooter from Yu Suzuki. I guess he needed a bit of cash to help make the next Shenmue game, so he made this Space Harrier clone as Apple gave him a big chunk of change. Yeah, this was a mobile game originally, but it's now on the Switch, and I played the first level on mobile, and it's alright. If you like Space Harrier, or even something more fantastical like Panzer Dragoon, you'll probably enjoy this. I don't know what the music director was smoking, however, because the music is just weird. It was like the band Queen, a knockoff Queen. It didn't quite fit the theme, but whatever, it did make it stand out. And if you want this or any of the retail releases in this episode, then please consider using the links in the description. You can purchase from Video Games Plus, and that is a fantastic way to support us because they have good prices in cheap Canadian money. They have cheap shipping, especially to the US, and even free shipping if you purchase over 80 Canadian bucks. They have lots of great stuff over there, and they are my preferred way to pick up retail releases. Plus, if you purchase something with our link, then each week you will be put into a draw with a chance of winning a $10 discount coupon. Yeah, and this week's winner is Jeremy G. Congratulations, my Jeremy gangster. You will get an email from VGP if you haven't already with your discount coupon. Thank you ever so much for your support. Guns and Spurs 2 is releasing in Europe this week, which is a bit weird because not exactly known as a cowboying continent, more like a cowboy incontinence, something like that. I don't know what happened to the original Guns and Spurs, but I'm pretty sure this combo would not be welcome in North London. Let me know if you get that reference. But seriously, I'm convinced there never was a Guns and Spurs 1. But this is a sequel, and it's an open world third-person shooter set in the Old West, so it's Red Dead, just the charity shop version. Virche Evermore Era Salvation is the latest physical Otome from Axis Games. This one kind of sneaked up, and I think it's because the name is a bit too troublesome just to write or even say. They couldn't be bothered to market it too much. I know this has been out in Japan for a long while, and Otome fans will definitely be picking this up, but I do wish Axis Games would focus some effort on non-Otome releases once in a while. Japan is absolutely feasting on visual novels of every kind and every flavor, even marzipan, and I need some of that. Axis Games at the moment are a bit too sausage flavored, if you get what I mean. Wildshade Unicorn Champions is quite an accomplishment in the title. Is it possible to have two juxtaposed words as strong as this? You've got Wildshade, badass, moody, emo, and then you got unicorn. Anyways, another horse riding game on the Switch. I should make a list for you guys of an equine persuasion, and our executive producer Parsnip Coffee, she is one of those equine persuasions. It's her pick of the week. Let's Sing 2024 is releasing this week, bundling itself with a microphone if you don't have enough of them lying around the house. More singing just in time for the Christmas parties. Better you embarrass yourself doing this at the office party than, photocopying your ball sack. That's a reprimand at the best, and a sexual misconduct lawsuit at the worst. Just stick to singing terribly, okay? Spells and Secrets is releasing this week, and this is a roguelike wizard-em-up. It's Harry Potter. It's a game which has you defending your magical academy from monsters. Use your spells to fight the enemies and solve puzzles, and apparently you're gonna have to get creative. There's even local and online co-op, which sounds good to play with family members or friends who like the HP. Yeah, I like HP sauce with a bacon sandwich. Oh, heaven. It actually looks like it's going to be quite good. Coffee Talk 1 and 2 is releasing in Europe this week. Unlike the North American version, this is actually both games on one cartridge rather than individual releases. Easier on the shelf space. I've talked about these a dozen or more times, so I don't need to say anything else, but our executive producers Feig and Issa have chosen this as their pick of the week. A quick mention to Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed, releasing in Europe this week. North America was last week, and 60 games in one. Yeah, I think this is releasing in North America this week. That's just too many games for Europeans to even think about. We've got football, that's enough, okay? Alright, The Low Prince Sunshine Anthology was made available for pre-order last week, but I completely forgot to mention it for some reason. I just didn't check far enough back for the announcements. I only have like 1 week worth of memory in here. After 1 week, everything, unless it's like Japanese and Asian imports, everything's just ejected. I ain't got time for remembering stuff. Anyways, this is a double pack of retro style horror games. You get Sunshine Manor and Camp Sunshine, like horror RPG adventures. Heard they're pretty good. And these premium editions have 3 editions available. Whoa, a standard, a deluxe, and a retro edition with lots and lots of stuff, and feel free to use the links below to purchase any of them if you fancy it. And our executive producer Thorn Metaluna has chosen this as his pick of the week. Brotato is Red Hot Games' latest release, and this is a hugely popular game. It kind of went viral on Steam. It's a cheap top-down arena shooter roguelike, which may sound like something familiar, but this has potatoes, not vampires. And as a British person who likes to boil them, mash them, and stick them in a stew, this is way better. You can't stick vampires in a stew. It looks chaotically fun, and if you want to pre-order the deluxe edition from Red Hot Games, then please check the links below and get an extra 10% off with our code SWatch10. You can also get it from VGP in its standard edition. Yeah, links are below for that. And our executive producers, Precision Plague and Cartoon Soren, have chosen this as their pick of the week. Brotato. Oh, hello again, Air Twister. Apparently retail won't satisfy the grift enough, so Strictly Limited Games have an edition on their website for pre-order right now with different, and I have to say better artwork. But the main attraction would be the collector's edition, which you'll get in about 12 months, no doubt. If you're looking for a collector's edition of this without waiting, just stick around till the import section. The Darkside Detective, a Fumble in the Dark, is Super Rare's latest Switch release just in time for Halloween to be over. This is the sequel to the first Darkside Detective game, which they did many years ago as one of their earlier titles, so it's nice to see a little bit of continuity. I like the original decently, even if it didn't touch the classics of old. You can see they really tried. Only 3,000 copies available, and our executive producers Jennifer M and God of Resin have chosen this as their pick of the week. Alright, it's the import section. We're heading into Play Asia territory. If you want to import any of the games shown in this section, please consider using our Play Asia links. That's always the #1 way to support us, and thank you ever so kindly. Plus, in return, if you click our link, you can get a very sweet 5% off with our code SWTV23. Just remember to click the link first, okay? Double Dragon Collection is releasing in Japan and Asia this week. It's currently an import exclusive at the time of writing, but I did hear that Limited Run might be doing this in North America, and there might be a retail release coming in Europe, but I don't know for sure. Interestingly, this contains 6 games. 4 of them we may be used to at this point, but 2 of them haven't been re-released before. Super Double Dragon and Double Dragon Advance, so that'll be nice. You can't go wrong with a bit of Double Dragon. This early Japanese release does have English, and it's a very affordable price. And our executive producers Robotech, Vey, and Punkydooster have chosen this as their pick of the week. Devil Engine is releasing in Japan this week. This is a hotly anticipated import exclusive, a brilliant shooter that people have been begging for a physical for, and if you enjoy shooters, you definitely need this one in your collection. Great production, visual style, great replayability with 8 game modes and unlockables. It has English and is really quite affordable too. Speaking of shooters, sometime, I don't know when, but soon, on a bit more Jordan, I am going all in on shooters on the Switch with a physical cartridge. Yes, I'm making a very long video about all the physical releases for shooters. So if you like shooters, go to a bit more Jordan, subscribe, hit that bell, it'll appear in a month or 2. Sanabi is releasing this week in Japan, which I was super excited for, but as you may know, a few weeks back, Red Hot Games opened pre-orders for their version on their website and the ESRB version on Video Games Plus. But if you want it early, then you might want to consider this version. I'll pop links down below for all the versions, and you can pick your poison because this looks really great. I'm quite excited to give it a whirl. And our executive producer Instacritic is excited too. It's his pick of the week. And a quick mention to Air Twister, which is releasing in Japan this week at retail, just like the West, but the collector's edition is available right now. It's almost the same as Strictly Limited, but not quite as full, but has the important stuff, and you don't have to wait 12 months for it. Also in Japan, they are getting these two games, one of which has English, the other of which does not. Alright, it's the community spotlight. Executive producer Alex M sent in this photo of Gal Guardians and the very recent release of Roller Coaster Deluxe Edition. I always loved those type of games as a kid, like Theme Park, Theme Hospital. I was painfully bad at them, but it was fine when you had the infinite money cheat. Executive producer Cartoon Soren showed off the Play Asia exclusive collector's edition of River City Rival Showdown. I don't know why they got the exclusive on this, but hey, I think it's more interesting than the Startup Company one they did. Dead Tech picked up this bunch of games, including 2 Japanese exclusive releases with English, Fortress S and Magical Drop 6. Remember, Forever Limited cancelled their European version of this game, so you'll need the Japanese version if you want it physically. Executive producer Feig sent in this photo with Star Ocean 2, which, yes, does have a download, but only if you want to have the additional language packs. The main game is on the cartridge, so purchase away with my links, please. Gundam Wing Zero sent in this photo of the Metal Gear collection, which, oh man, this could have been so essential. But yeah, I'll be getting this on the PS5 if I ever get one of those machines. Executive producer Instacritic sent in this photo with a bunch of interesting games. Humongous Games collection is going to feature in a retro compilation video that I'm currently working on. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff in the works, guys. Little Raven sent in the reversible cover for Sonic Superstars, which I think actually looks better. I mean, yeah, it's a bit more childish, so I guess that's why they didn't use it, but I think it looks more visually appealing, it's more exciting. Max1216 picked up the latest Wario game, and I think a lot of people say this is the best one in a good while, but I think they say that about every new game from Nintendo. Even I say that. Executive producer Offone sent in this photo with Disco Elysium Final Cut, which I definitely should get at some point because it looks really awesome, but I'll have to wait. And the box art, that's not the prettiest, is it? I'm shallow. Executive producer Precision Plague sent in this photo with a wealth of games, including Forgive Me Father, which is proof of its existence. I've had loads of people, mostly from America, asking if it was legit out in Europe, and yes, it is. Executive producer Vei, my man in Japan, sent in this photo with a couple of import exclusives on Genso Skydrift and the sequel to The Fox Awaits Me. Both of them have English. Visipan sent in this photo with her October haul, getting in that Otomi box set, Hana Awase New Moon. That is a lot of VN-ness. Yusha sent in this photo of Boo Party, a European physical exclusive, and yes, this is going to feature in an upcoming video where I'm seemingly going to try my best to nuke the channel. YouTube will not approve. So yeah, if SwitchWatch dies, please go to my Patreon. Alright, let's have a roundup. Robin H. Andrew R. Ashura G. Elissa. Crobat Lover. Quosk. Starvey. Mucky McFlynn. Needless Dragon. Lady B. That Bloody Sadomasochist. Kresalak. Sojan. Wanko Rotary Engine. Alright, please send me pictures on Twitter at SoWhatAboutGame. You can DM me, or you can send it in our email, switchwatchspotlight@gmail.com, and our Discord, the server link is below. Submit it in the submission section, only 1 picture per week. Alright, thank you for watching. As always, special thanks to my executive producers, Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Cato, JCross7776, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Z, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Parsnip Coffee, Issa, They, Mental Traveler, Offone, Jennifer M, Instacritic, Precision Play, Catachat, Totally Grateful, Alex M, and Fee, plus you. Yeah, you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, what a legend you are. Please leave me a potato emoji in honor of the potato. Please go to A Bit More Jordan. I've got a lot of stuff over there, okay? Go watch A Bit More Jordan and stay tuned. It's going to be a very busy, festive year for SwitchWatch and A Bit More Jordan. I'm a busy boy.